What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us here today on the VSO Gun Channel. Welcome to the Tactical Walls Vault. If you guys missed our video on the vault, then I'll have a link in the description box down below so you guys can check that thing out if that's something that you're interested in. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of Americans carry guns, and for good reason given today's climate, if you will. But the truth of the matter is that regardless of what the mainstream media will have you believe, a large percentage of Americans carry firearms for self-defense. Whether you're an open carrier or a concealed carrier, it is a constitutional right in the United States to be able to defend yourself. Case in point, high 90% of the time I'm carrying a firearm. High 60%, somewhere in there, I'm carrying more than one. And high 90% of the time, my wife is armed. So just an idea for you guys, at least that is the lifestyle we choose to lead. Most of the time we're carrying some kind of firearm. Now that that has been said, I am happy to say that I have never drawn my firearm in anger. Never in my adult life have I drawn a firearm on another human being, and I hope to never have to deploy a firearm in any capacity against another human being. It would ruin my day and likely theirs as well. Now, I will tell you that over the course of my adult life, I have had 2 instances in which I have had to deploy emergency medical aid. And today's thing that I wanted to show you guys, this is the T-Mag from NSR Tactical. And one of the things that I do is in my truck, for instance, and all my vehicles and my tack pants, I have a pocket VOC, which is a ventilated operator kit. It's a reduced size kind of medical kit with like chest seals and stuff like that. I don't typically carry that particular thing out into my public. It's not part of my EDC, if you will. However, this has become part of my EDC. And in both instances where I had to deploy emergency medical aid to somebody, they needed a tourniquet. And this particular device here, as you can see, allows you to conceal both your spare magazine and a cat tourniquet, one of the widely recognized, highly effective tourniquets on the market. I prefer the cat tourniquet. I also carry a rat's tourniquet, and I know there's a lot of controversy over that sort of thing. But for instance, I personally have a very difficult time, even though that this has been staged for deployment on a leg wound, I still have a very difficult time self-applying a cat tourniquet because my legs are so big. I squat multiple times a week. I deadlift. My legs are pretty big to begin with. Plus all that weight training has made it very difficult for me to self-apply this. So I prefer to have a rat's tourniquet on hand, even though I will say that I have bent a few of them. I can very quickly get that around that, and I've done that in a high-stress training environment as well. So I know that that's something I can do. However, a cat tourniquet is a really, really good tourniquet, and I will say that it is recognized around the world, if you will, as something that is a vital piece of gear. So my question to you guys is, do you carry medical, and what kind of way do you carry medical? On this particular thing, you can see that this is a double up situation where we have a mag carrier and a cat tourniquet retention device, and you can see it's got a slit there for tension on the actual tourniquet there, so it is retained. I can bounce this up and down. It's not going to come out of there or anything like that. And on here we can also see that we have a concealment strut, and what that means is that we have a single direction pull dot loop. Pull the dot loop here, and these are, see, they only come off one way, so you're not gonna, these are not gonna come off accidentally. And the way that works, and I'll get a tight one in there if that's not showing up, but these only go on one way. And behind that is a strut that allows you to tuck your shirt in behind that. So if you want to wear a nice button-down shirt or something like that that you would tuck in, this gives you an opportunity to do that. But anyway, I have been using this over the course of the last 2 months or so, getting a feeling for it, running all over the range. I usually just smash a tourniquet into one of my side pockets on my cargo pants, so to speak, and that works for the range. but because I don't usually wear cargo pants into public, it's not something that I choose as a fashion statement, if you will. I'm more of the American Eagle stretchy jeans, which, I mean, I'm going to tell you what. But this allows me to carry into public a way that is not conspicuous. This slides right in, and I usually put it in the at the 7 o'clock position, which is directly the opposite of where I carry my gun. Usually I carry my gun around the 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock position. So having it around over here allows me to manage that space pretty easily, and this does an excellent job. Statistically speaking, you are much more likely to need to bestow emergency medical care on somebody that you care about or need emergency medical care yourself than you are to need to shoot someone. You don't have to take my word for it. You can look up the statistics yourself. But if you're thinking about possibilities for adding a high quality tourniquet to your EDC, then I'd highly, highly suggest that you take a look at the T-Mag setup from NSR Tactical. And that does it here for us today, guys. I would say that given the timing, this is a perfect stocking stuffer for your tactically minded folks. Thanks for joining us here today on the VSO Gun Channel, and hopefully we'll see you guys on a future video.